Welcome, everyone, to another episode of The Dark Place. This is a show where we delve into the depths of infamous cases that have captivated the world. I'm your host, Adam, and today we're diving into the chilling tale of Michael Swanson. But before we begin, please go to all of our social media pages. That is the YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, and Instagram, The Other People Show. So Michael Swanson's story begins in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, a seemingly ordinary town with ordinary people. But behind the facade, darkness lurked in the heart of a troubled young man. Born on April 12th, 1993, Michael Swanson grew up in a turbulent environment, marked by family discord and personal struggles. Despite his troubled upbringing, few could have predicted the horrors that would unfold at his hands. Michael Swanson's mother, Catherine, outlined the years of terror the family lived with as her son received what now looks like almost no professional help, even though he repeatedly showed signs of very violent behavior. They knew something was wrong early on, Catherine testified. From birth, the boy never slept and never stopped moving. She had to quit her St. Louis Park daycare business after she found Michael, still a toddler, preparing to jump on top of an infant lying on the floor. He was only 11 when his psychiatrist told her that he was a lost cause and needed to be locked up. His grandmother, his aunt, and even his own mother feared he was going to hurt them, and he usually admitted thinking about it. Michael's behavior in the daycare included harassing the other kids, attempting to escape. Michael also exhibited early behavioral problems, lacked empathy, and found killing funny. There was also an escalation of violence or violent dreams and thoughts in his mind. Michael stole money and a pistol from a safe. After being kicked out of a group home, Michael went through the court system and opted for community service to pay the restitution. While doing the community service, Michael stole money from that organization. Michael also stole his mother's car and committed armed robberies, resulting in 2 deaths. So there were quite a few mental health conflicts with Michael Swanson. The mental health professionals had conflicting assessments of Michael's condition. It's also known that Michael's parents went to great lengths to prevent escape attempts and from him committing harm to them. There was even a time where Michael's mother made him wear only a towel and safety pin so he wouldn't try to escape. All his clothes were locked in one room. They often the mother and father kept a pipe wrench in their bedroom with the door locked in case Michael broke in and tried to harm them. Michael was also, diagnosed with teen bipolar, but several other psychiatrists had said that Michael was just exhibiting normal teenage behavior. But there were several psychiatrists that said without any kind of medication, he might carry out some of these behaviors that he says that he dreams about and thinks about. And that did come true on November 15th, 2010. Michael Swanson then committed a heinous act that shocked the nation. Armed with a stolen handgun and a twisted motive, he embarked on a night of terror that would forever change the lives of two innocent victims and their families. The first victim was Sheila Myers, a convenience store clerk in Humboldt, Iowa. In a cold and calculated manner, Michael Swanson callously gunned her down during a robbery, leaving the community reeling in shock and in disbelief. But Michael Swanson's rampage did not end there. His next target was Vicki Bowman Hall, another innocent victim who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He violently took her life, leaving behind a trail of devastation and heartbreak. At the ages of 47 and 61, both Vicki Bowman Hall and Sheila Myers were innocent gas station clerks with families of their own when they abruptly lost their lives. The former wasn't even supposed to be working. She'd clocked in anyways after another staffer called in sick. The assistant manager, wife, and mother of 11 never imagined that everything she knew and loved would be snatched away during a senseless act of violence and robbery turned murder at 9 p.m. that evening. Vicki was working at the register when a young man wearing a ski mask walked in, only to point the gun in her direction and demand the cash as well as the cigarettes. She complied and didn't give any cause for concern. She didn't raise any alarms, and she tried to be as safe as possible. But he still shot her in the face with his .40 caliber gun before leaving with $31 and cigarettes. About an hour later, at 10:30, the assailant struck again, walking into Kumango convenience store in Humboldt and shooting Sheila Myers in a similar fashion. While Sheila died at the scene, Vicki passed away at the hospital a short time later. As the manhunt intensified, Michael Swanson was apprehended by authorities. But the questions remain. What drove this man to commit these heinous acts, these unspeakable acts? And could justice ever be truly served? As we delve deeper into the Swanson background, we've uncovered a history of mental illness, substance abuse, and the lack of the professionals to actually get this teen the medication that he needs in therapy and on the right path. His mother and father tried. Was he born this way, evil, or was he a product of his environment? Throughout the trial, Michael's defense argued for leniency, citing his troubled upbringing and his mental health struggles. But the prosecution painted a different picture, one of a remorseless killer driven by his own selfish desires. Following the first conviction, the then 18-year-old pleaded guilty to charges against him in connection to Vicki Bowman Hall's death, as well as leading him to rack up 2 life sentences. A judge also ordered him to pay $150,000 each in restitution to both of his victims' family, after clarifying that his penalties would run concurrently. Furthermore, having slashed a fellow inmate's neck in 2014, leaving him with 15 lacerations and stitches, Michael was sentenced to an additional 25 years for attempted murder. In his late 20s, the convicted felon is incarcerated at the Medium Security Iowa Medical Classification Center Correctional Facility in Coralville right now. He will only be eligible for parole when he is in his mid-90s in 2089. In the end, justice was served. Michael Swanson was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison, without the possibility of parole, except when he's in his mid-90s. but the scars left by his actions continue to linger, serving as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the depths of human depravity. Join us next time as we delve into another gripping case that will leave you questioning the very nature of humanity. Until then, stay curious, stay vigilant, and never forget the victims whose voices deserve to be heard. This has been another episode of The Dark Place. Thank you for listening. Good night.